Okay, get this. Did you know Americans throw out something like 60 to 80 pounds of textile trash every single year?
Wow.
Yeah, it's staggering. And, by 2014, those traditional fashion stones, they went from maybe 11 a year to like 52,
52. That's wild.
isn't it? So today we're diving deep into something that's getting a lot of buzz, and for good reason, I think. Thrift stores, and specifically their impact on sustainable fashion.
Right.
We've got this great stack of sources you sent over, including a really interesting research paper that zooms in on Goodwill Industries as a case study.
Yeah, that one's fascinating.
So our mission here really is to pull out the key insights for you to help understand how these shops, which seem kind of simple on the surface, are actually playing this vital role in tackling huge environmental challenges. And maybe, just maybe, change how you think about buying clothes next time.
And what's really interesting, I think, is how our whole relationship with clothing has shifted, especially since the Industrial Revolution. We'll definitely connect that to the bigger picture of consumption waste and how thrift stores kind of offer this counter narrative.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so before we jump into thrift stores as the solution, let's really get a handle on the problem itself. Our sources, they paint a pretty stark picture, don't they? The fashion industry as a major, major polluter.
Oh, absolutely. The environmental impact is, well, it's huge. Textile production, the way we consume clothes now, it all contributes massively to pollution and waste.
And this fast fashion thing is key, right?
Essential, yeah. It
Mm.
basically encourages us to buy low-quality clothes that just aren't meant to last. They have a really short lifespan.
So that leads to that 60 to 80 pounds of trash figure you mentioned earlier.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The sources highlight that number 60 to 80 pounds per American per year. And that stuff, sits in landfills for months, sometimes years, trying to decompose. It's a massive amount of waste.
So how did we even get here? Was it always like this?
Oh, not at all. And that's where the history is so telling. Before industrialization, I mean, think about it. The lower classes certainly weren't throwing clothes away.
Right.
They relied on mending things, reusing fabrics, resizing clothes, making things last until they were literally falling apart. Even scraps got used for, like, stuffing furniture.
Wow. Right.
And even for the wealthy, consumption was way more limited. It was about quality. Maybe an annual trip to Paris for a wardrobe. But those were investment pieces, things meant to endure.
So this whole idea of disposable clothes is actually pretty recent then.
Very recent, historically speaking. Our sources show this wasn't some timeless human thing. People, even wealthy ones, understood quality over quantity. It's a kind of wisdom we're only just starting to rediscover.
That's such a huge shift in thinking. It sounds like industrialization wasn't just about how clothes were made, but it fundamentally changed our whole value system around them. Do you think we can actually go back to that quality over quantity mindset now that fast fashion is so ingrained?
Well, that's the big question, isn't it? And thrift stores, funnily enough, are kind of part of the answer. The big transition, as the sources point out, really came with those new technologies.
Like the spinning jenny sewing machines.
Exactly. The spinning jenny sewing machines, standard sizing. Suddenly you could mass produce ready-made clothes pretty cheaply.
And that changed everything.
It completely changed consumption patterns, yeah. Clothes became disposable, really, even for people who didn't have much money. And manufacturers, well, they responded by just churning out more and more collections, more seasons.
From 11 to 52.
From around 11 to, 52 seasons a year by 2014. That created this incredibly consumerist fast fashion industry we see today, where it's all about chasing the latest micro trend, not investing in something that lasts.
So faced with this mountain of textile waste and these super fast trends, something had to give, right? And maybe that's where thrift stores come back into the picture. Or maybe they never really left.
Well, they kind of reemerged in prominence as a response. Yeah. Thrift stores are, in many ways, a direct answer to this problem. They collect donations, resell clothes, and other goods.
So they're actively promoting reuse.
Exactly. Promoting reuse, recycling textiles, and cutting down waste. They position themselves as, an affordable and sustainable way to shop.
And they've been around a while, haven't they? It's not a new idea.
Not at all. Our sources trace them back to the 19th century, actually. They popped up in big cities dealing with textile waste from the Industrial Revolution.
Not that early.
Yeah. And, okay, there were some initial issues like hygiene concerns, even some racial stigmas attached to secondhand stuff back then. But by the 1920s, resale shops were pretty well established.
Yeah.
They grew, especially with immigrant communities. And then you had charity shops like the Salvation Army, run by religious groups, which really helped make buying secondhand more acceptable, sort of destigmatized it.
So they became part of the fabric of society.
Yeah, they've had this stable role ever since. And stepping back, you see how they're not just shops. They're like crucial parts of what we now call the circular economy.
Right, I've heard that term. It's about keeping things in use.
Exactly. Keeping resources in use as long as possible, getting the most value, then recovering and regenerating products and materials at the end. Thrift stores are key players in making that happen locally.
Okay, so clearly vital for the environment, crucial for that circular economy idea. But the sources mention other benefits too, right? It's not just about being green. What else are people getting out of thrifting?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
It's definitely multifaceted. I mean, the environmental part, reducing waste, is huge. It's the best way to practice reduce, reuse, recycle, no question.
that's the foundation.
Right. But beyond that, there are some really cool personal and community upsides. For starters, you can build a wardrobe that's completely unique.
The treasure hunt aspect.
Exactly. He's often described that way. You just never know what amazing, unexpected thing you might find. Like finding a hidden gem.
Yeah, I love that feeling. It's like the clothes have a bit of history already. But finding those really good pieces, the premium stuff, that can feel a bit like luck sometimes, can it? Is there a trick to it?
Huh. Well, maybe a little bit of persistence helps,
Yeah.
but the surprise is part of the fun. And you really can find incredible deals on high-quality brands, things you might not otherwise afford.
And not just clothes, right?
No, definitely not just clothes. Furniture, shoes, accessories, books, games, home stuff,
Yeah,
you name it. It's really about getting, more value for less money.
makes sense.
And then there's the whole creative angle. Thrift stores are full of items with DIY potential.
Oh, yeah. Like upcycling.
Totally. Furniture that just needs a bit of sanding and paint, fabrics you can repurpose.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff just needs a little TLC, as they say. It really taps into that creative satisfaction of transforming something.
I like that, giving something a new life.
Exactly. And then finally, and this is really important, many thrift stores have a mission beyond just profit.
Like the Goodwill example.
Right. Stores like Ohio Valley Goodwill, mentioned in the source, they exist to serve the community. So when you shop there, you're not just buying something, you're actually supporting things like job training programs, helping low-income families. You're making a difference.
That really adds another layer, doesn't it? It reframes the whole act of shopping. So this makes me wonder, who exactly is shopping at thrift stores these days? And why? You said it's changing from just being about necessity.
It really has shifted. Looking at the numbers, roughly 16 to 18% of Americans shop at thrift stores each year, and another 12 to 15% hit up consignment or resale shops.
Okay, so a decent chunk of people.
Yeah. And historically, sure, many shop there because they had to. But now it's a much broader mix. People are looking for those unique items we talked about.
The treasure hunt.
Right. Or they want high-quality stuff without the high price tag. Or, increasingly, they're motivated by sustainability, wanting to reduce their environmental footprint.
And you mentioned millennials specifically.
Yes. The sources point to millennials as being particularly motivated by those social and environmental concerns. For them, thrifting is often a way to express their individuality, sure, but also their values. It's a statement.
Interesting.
So yeah, overall, you've got this powerful combination driving people. Price, sustainability, uniqueness, that unpredictable inventory, it all plays a part.
And presumably, this shift is boosting the industry. It feels like thrifting is way more mainstream now.
Oh, definitely. Industry revenues are up, partly because people are spending more generally, but also because of this growing demand for sustainable options. Higher disposable income also means people might buy more items per visit, too.
So it's growing. Are there any downsides or challenges for the industry?
Well, yeah, it's not without challenges. They face increasing competition, from traditional retailers trying to be more sustainable, but also from those for-profit thrift chains, and definitely from the boom in online secondhand marketplaces.
All right. The online competition.
Exactly. But despite that, the outlook seems pretty strong. One source even predicted the thrift industry in Asia could hit $1 billion by 2030. So it's definitely a global trend.
Okay, let's circle back to that case study, Goodwill Industries. Our source took a close look at them. What did the research find about their specific role and maybe the challenges and opportunities they face?
Yeah, the research really confirmed Goodwill's massive role in pushing sustainable fashion forward. They divert a huge amount of textiles from landfills, obviously.
Right.
And they provide that affordable, sustainable alternative we've been talking about. Plus, they contribute socially and economically through their job programs and community services.
So hugely positive impact. But what about the challenges?
They definitely face some hurdles. One big one is still just a lack of awareness among many consumers about how bad fast fashion really is for the environment. That limits the demand for alternatives, even affordable ones like thrift.
So education is still needed.
Definitely. Another issue is the supply side. They depend on donations, right? And there isn't always a huge amount of truly sustainably produced clothing being donated yet.
Ah, I see. They need good stuff coming in.
Exactly. And then, just practically speaking, managing all those donations, the sheer volume, the inconsistency, sorting it, pricing it, distributing it, that's a massive logistical challenge in itself.
Yeah, I can imagine. It's not like a regular retail supply chain at all.
Not even close.
So, okay, they're crucial, but they face these real challenges. Where did the research see the biggest opportunities for places like Goodwill to have an even greater impact?
Good question. The research pointed to a few key areas. One is doubling down on promoting sustainable consumption through targeted marketing and educational campaigns, really driving home the message and making thrifting a conscious first choice for more people.
Shifting mindsets.
Exactly. Another opportunity is to kind of indirectly boost the availability of better quality, maybe even sustainably made items in the donation stream. Perhaps by encouraging people to donate those items specifically, or even partnering with sustainable brands somehow.
Interesting idea.
And finally, there's real potential to explore new business models, to get more creative about what happens to donations beyond just resale. Think more advanced upcycling, maybe transforming textiles into entirely new materials for other industries, really pushing that circularity concept further.
Okay, so wrapping this up, what does this all mean for you listening right now? We've gone pretty deep into this world of thrift stores, and it's surprisingly complex, isn't it? But also incredibly impactful.
It really is.
From tackling that massive fast fashion waste problem to letting you find unique styles to actually supporting communities, it's clear they're way more than just places to find a bargain.
And if you connect it back to that bigger picture, it really shows how our individual choices, yours and mine, when added up, can genuinely drive big shifts towards a more circular and sustainable way of living.
Yeah.
It just makes you think more critically about, where did this shirt come from? Where will it end up? It becomes a conversation about value, not just cost.
So maybe, as you think about your next shopping trip, doesn't matter if it's for clothes or something for your house or even just a book, maybe ask yourself, could this thing have a second life, a third life? And what kind of ripple effect could that simple choice create, beyond just my own closet or my own home? Perhaps the real treasure isn't only what you find inside the thrift store, but the wider positive impact of choosing to shop there in the first place. What stands out most to you from this deep dive?